Nabila, what's your reaction? I mean, what do you think Marine Le Pen victory will mean for France and many of the problems and issues that French society are dealing with right now?
Well, first of all, I have to say I'm rather sceptical about a potential Marine Le Pen victory. I mean, it's a truism to say that Marine Le Pen is a candidate just like any other, and she's capable of winning an election if she gets enough votes. Having said that, we living in very unpredictable times, an age of disruption where conformity cannot be taken for granted, and in which case Marine Le Pen does have a chance of winning the election, but because of many factors, her chance is very slim indeed. I mean, first of all, we're talking about France, which is a country that has actively collaborated in the Holocaust during the Second World War, which has a colonial past, not least of all in Muslim majority country, and very barbaric colonial past. So I would be absolutely astonished if, the French population decided to put in power somebody who comes from a party that was literally founded by former Waffen-SS soldiers.
What do you say to those that, as has been said on the show, that she's tried to clean up the perhaps darker elements of the party? I mean, what do you say to that? Do you buy that that's been cleaned up, or that still hangs over the party?
Well, she has desperately been trying to distance herself from her father, who's a convicted racist, anti-Semite and Holocaust denier. But she still pushes very far right agenda, and dare I say, not a very convincing one. Her policies, if we may call them that, are based on vague promises to keep immigrants out and effectively clamp down on those perceived as immigrants in France itself. Meanwhile, she's also offering a small town policies, such as finding women who wear a headscarf, for example. But if we look at her track record, this is somebody who has struggled for decades to, as a politician. Not only has she faced a rejection as a presidential candidate twice in 2012 and 2017, but also as an MP. She barely scraped into a parliamentary seat in 2017 after years of becoming an MP. It was her fifth attempt. And let's put that into context as well, because when we speak about the National Rally, some people think that it's a massive political vehicle. She only has 6 MPs in the French parliament out of 577 MPs.
I guess people would say that even with the problems of the party and the problems of Marine Le Pen, she's speaking to issues that people in France are concerned about, and for whatever reason feel that they have not been represented, have not been listened to, and that perhaps this is the vehicle that they are now choosing to get issues that were otherwise not spoken about dealt with.
Well, especially so since Emmanuel Macron has been far too busy trying to sort out the war in Ukraine, rather than getting his hands dirty trying to address the day-to-day grievances of ordinary voters. But do
you think those grievances are legitimate around immigration, around the integration of the Muslim minority, concerns over the cost of living and so on? Do you think those concerns in France are legitimate? And what would you say, if not Marine Le Pen, should be done to deal with those concerns?
They are legitimate, and for the very simple reason that we see the manifestation of that in French society. But dare I say, racist sentiment has always been present in France. It hasn't emerged with Marine Le Pen or indeed Éric Zemmour recently. It has always been a racist country with, as I said, a history of collaboration with Nazi Germany and the colonial past. What has changed is that the racism that we hear a lot more about today is projected to the forefront thanks to 24 hours news channels, social media, and it gives polemicists a greater audience, which make the political message more mainstream. The best example of that is, of course, Éric Zemmour, who is a very high-profile presidential candidate, but he's not more than a shock jock, and he uses communication very effectively to spread his ideas. The National Front, which was founded in the 70s, had, it wasn't that long ago, but again, it was made up of poisonous politicians who had zero chance to appeal to a global audience, but now it's very easy.
All right, well, thank you so much, Nabila Ramdani, multi-award winning journalist and broadcaster. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on the French elections.